the sake brewery.
Hello and welcome to another Japan tour segment. This is the third installment and we are on the bus on our way to Kyoto. This day we were going to 3 different shrines. The first one being a really cool rock shrine that actually did not become popular until Queen Elizabeth actually went to the site. The grounds are just so stunning with tons of foliage everywhere and gardens. I think I mentioned this. Gardens in Japan are very different than what you would consider in the West. Everything is like these stones that you'd see us walking on there, and moss and greenery and things like that. This place was really cool. We had to take our shoes off when we went inside, and then these different stones here were supposed to mimic, what was it that they were supposed to, I don't remember anymore what they were supposed to mimic, like the different mountains, hills, something. Anyways, and you can't see all of them from one vantage point, which is really neat. Like, you have to walk around the area. And there was some artwork from like a previous prime minister in these rooms, but just the rooms themselves were just so beautiful. And she's apologizing and I'm like, no, these are beautiful, I don't care. You know. And yeah, like, it's just so pretty walking through these different areas. You just don't see things like this in North America. I feel like I'm just gonna be a broken record saying that kind of stuff. At the end of every segment, I like throwing in some photos just so you can see just the majesty of it all and just the vastness, because I don't really feel like I can always capture that on film. So Chris took some magnificent photos and I really like to showcase that here. We also had a bento box lunch, and yes, we broke our veganism for this because we didn't know we were being fed. And when you're just plopped in front of a whole bunch of fresh seafood, what are you supposed to say? But it was all so beautiful and really great and fresh and seasonally appropriate. There was a lot of people that were really weirded out by certain dishes, but we tried to help them along, but it was all just so beautiful. Next, we went to the famous Torii Gates. We were very, very excited to go to this. This was like Chris's most excited thing, I think, this day. I don't remember how expensive each Torii Gate costs, but it's like one small one wasn't that expensive or as expensive, and then they go up and up and up in price depending on how big you get them. And the crazy thing is they have to be replaced after so many years because they're made of wood, and depending also if it's shaded by trees, then they're more likely to decay faster. So we found out about all that kind of information, which was really interesting. And also, this was a Shinto shrine because you can see like these are like the Shinto deities. And also there was like this horse. We're walking up to this horse. I don't think I actually get it in this segment, but they would actually sacrifice like certain horses for prosperity and like typhoons and natural disasters to not happen, which was really interesting. But now they just have like a fake horse there that you can put like the money in. So here are the different the Torii Gates that we're walking through. Now these ones are the most expensive ones, and on the opposite side, we're not seeing it here, but on the opposite side, if you were to walk away, you would see like which company. It's usually a company that gives these Torii Gates, and I can't remember what's on the other side. Maybe the date that they also gifted these Torii Gates. I'm not really sure, but as you can see, the Torii Gates are getting much, much smaller now. And I think they got small. Did they get smaller as we walked on through, or were they? Okay, yeah, smaller. They're smaller and closer together. Reach up and touch. Yeah, you could touch them. But as you could see there, you could see the different ones that were decaying, and also look how close together they are. I thought this was like a neat little way to show you guys how close they actually come together, which was really neat. I really wish we could have walked further, but we had so much that we were doing this day that you really didn't have the time to go. We didn't have the time to go to the whole thing. and those were like different prayers you can put, which was really neat. Yeah, there was like even these rocks that you had to pick up, and it's like if you could pick up one of them, then your dreams were going to come true sooner. But as you can see, like they go up and up and up forever. Like if it's hard to pick up, then it's going to take a little bit longer, but if it's not as hard, then it won't take as long, kind of thing. We picked them up, we thought they were going to be super, super hard, these balls, but they really weren't all that hard to pick up.
They weren't that bad. And
no.
It also didn't help because the people
it's different.
right
It's
before
not
us,
just a whole
they
bunch
made
of
it seem
cake.
like it was so hard.
So cool,
yeah.
But this is nice too.
But yeah, like seeing all these different areas was really neat. But yeah, like we literally had to go back because we just did not have enough time. That's kind of like, I feel like a broken record saying that in this, but it's so true. There is just so much to see and not enough time when you're traveling to a foreign country that you've wanted to do for like your entire life, you know? So it was just so peaceful. I liked going to a Shinto shrine because most of the time we've gone to Buddhist shrines. So to go to a Shinto shrine for once, it was really neat to see the contrast, because most people are actually Buddhist in Japan. Oh yeah, and seeing the train go by was like super, super neat. I'm like, I have to film this. But people are kind of like a mix of the two. But yeah, we had such a great time at the Torii Gates, and Chris got this like really cool panoramic. I had to show some like super fun shots of us while we were there, because like, when do you get to show off these kinds of photos? Like, am I right? We just had such a great time. And you can see the height with these here. They're really not as big compared to this. Like and it goes from like small to big to small to big, which was really neat. And these side gutters, those things were really cool because they actually would take away the water if it was raining a lot. So our final shrine, all I remember is it being called the stage, and you had to go up this like really narrow area that we are stuck in here. As you can see, there was just so many people. When they built this, they did not anticipate the amount of traffic they would get, or that cars would be a thing. So it is very hard to get there because of how busy it is, and cars and buses and stuff like that. So like the day after, we had people we were waiting for, and it took them, I think, an hour. They were an hour. Actually, we were an hour late, and they were an hour late, and the boat should have left. And we didn't actually leave without them, thank God. But like a whole tour bus was late because of it. But what's really cool about this area, we are slowly walking up to that in front there, is something called the stage, and I didn't really understand it until we actually saw the underneath of it, and also once we spoke to our travel guide about it. And no nails were used in the creation of the part that I am standing on right now. It is all done by X's, and you see it in the background there, and we're walking down towards the base of it here.
Where we are,
but
blah, blah, blah.
no nails were used, which means that everything, it's like a puzzle piece. And what's really cool about that is they needed to, like, obviously know what they were doing and really be methodical about it. Look how cool these things are, like, what? But it doesn't disintegrate because there's no nails in it. So you don't have to worry about replacing anything. Like, these things are just so cool. I can see where Studio Ghibli got a lot of their content, let's just say. This, there was a cue for it, something about drinking the water gives you long life or something. And so that's what people are doing here. They're picking up the water and drinking it. And there's lots of people dressed in kimonos here. And I just thought all the rocks and everything there, you can see how the stage is built. I only got like a smidgen of it there. Sorry, everyone, that's all I got. I wasn't thinking. But yeah, it's just, everything is just so artistic, it feels like, in this country compared to our country here. This was just such a really pretty pond, and then I heard everyone kept staring at something over there, so I wandered on over,
also koi fish
and there was a turtle! How cute is this little turtle? and also koi in the pond, you'll see in a minute. I won't say anything until we actually get a chance to see the koi, because what you just think, okay, it's normal koi fish, whatever, right? Wait until you see it beside the turtle. Wait for it. Look at how big it is. Like, what the heck? I know koi fish get big, but like that is a big koi fish, okay? Anyways, I just thought that was really neat, and I'm happy I got a little bit of an extended video of this, because how cute is this? This turtle's just sunning. Oh, so precious. Again, walking down from the stage, and so I'm zooming into pretty much the path that we have to take to get out of here. Do you see how tiny it is over there? Like, it is only barely big enough for one bus. And if there's a lot of people, like, forget it. You're not getting anywhere, okay? But yeah, like, just, oh, everything is just so pretty. And the amount of times people actually had needed to, like, rebuild everything because of fires and natural disasters and things like, a lightning bolt hit the shrine and like everything burnt down to a crisp in like 1450 and stuff like that is like just unreal. Like, you don't hear stuff like this. It was also the shrine for like like a water dragon, I do believe, because that was the water dragon there. And like, look at that. Like, oh my goodness. There's the stage that you can see again that we walked to. But yeah, it was just like, oh, breathtaking. Like, I am lost for words because of just how amazing. This was a very busy day, but also a very amazing day. We also happened to stumble upon a Studio Ghibli store, a little Studio Ghibli store, so of course we had to walk through it with a big Totoro that you want to just squish. But there was even, like, you've got your Pocoroso. I know that you put, like, some kind of citronella in there, I do believe, so that the bugs don't bother you, and these, like, adorable watering cans. If we had bigger suitcases and multiple dollars, I probably would have wanted to buy all this stuff. I mean, yes, our dollar is doing really well compared to the yen right now, all in considering, because usually the Canadian dollar doesn't do very well. But at the same token, I'm like, we have to be smart about our money and our luggage. So, you know, we decided, you know, let's not. But I've got all this amazing footage and all these beautiful places we went to, so I can always look back and reminisce on these adorable places. And a lot of these places, as you can see here, have other shops on separate floors. And then after that, we went to Dotonbori in Osaka, and this was like the major crazy district that had you know, all those really big ornate signage on the front. We did want to go to a sushi conveyor belt place, but we literally would have had to wait, what was it, like 3 hours, Chris? I think the queue was 3 hours, yeah. And by that point, it would have been like 10:30 at night, and I just didn't want to eat that late as much as I wanted the conveyor belt sushi that's also capsule sushi, because you could get like capsules every time you ate something. You kind of use your plate like it's money. But alas, we didn't get that. But look at how pretty Osaka is. Like, this was just so stunning to me. I love that we kind of had a night on the town because we were in Osaka for 2 nights. And like, just seeing all this neat stuff that, yes, that is, I do believe, an actual working roller coaster that was over there. We did go for cocoa curry because that was something I really wanted to do, and we got to pick vegan curry, and also it had eggplant. Mine had eggplant and spinach, and Chris's had eggplant and I think like a vegetable medley. It was delicious. Whatever this building is was like super adorable, so I wanted to show it to you guys, but my aperture wasn't correct. But there, you can see it. Like, pause if you really want to see it, but that's that building there. And then also I wanted to see the Running Man. There he is in all of his glory. By this point I was literal dead though, because we've been up and about since like 7, and it is now, oh, probably like 10 o'clock at night, if not later. So by this point, I'm like, I'm ready to go home. And that's the front half of that really cool building that I was showing you guys from before. And here's just other shots from Osaka that mostly Chris took. because he's just so much better at this, because I was mostly filming and he was taking pictures, so I know he doesn't mind that I'm like showcasing his stuff in the video, but I like to say what is mine and his. But we did get some takoyaki as well, again not vegan, but that was okay because we really wanted to try it. We're on a bullet train. This is the next day in Osaka. We are on route to a tea ceremony, which, let me tell you, was a mission and a half to get to because we didn't go there the correct way, and it took us longer than it should have to get to the Kyoto, from Osaka to the Kyoto Shin Station? Shin Osaka Station. And then we also still needed to take a Kyoto line, but I wanted to showcase some of the beautiful things here. You guys saw a cute little suite that we got from our time with the tea master. I probably should have put that in a different portion of the video, but c'est la vie. But here is the tea ceremony, and I had no idea that he would get us involved in the ceremony, so I was kind of like snickering the whole time because I had no idea what I was doing or never taken part in something like this. And he literally said, I feel so bad about this, but it is a lost art that most Japanese people don't even really know about the way of the tea. And he is the only foreign and also Canadian tea master. It's something you have to study for 3 years at a Japanese school to learn. And he taught us so much about tea. And a lot of people in Japan don't actually know about... So he's teaching me here how to hold the bowl and how to whisk. But you got to whisk it from 10 to 2 very, very quickly. And it's more in the wrist than in the arm. And I was doing it not right. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, he fixes it. But he was even saying that, so most people don't really know about this. And it's a dying art form, which is really too bad. And depending on who whisks the matcha, the tea will taste different, which I thought was also really cool. So I wanted to talk about that because what a cool art form. And he studies with tea masters in Japan. He was actually just coming from seeing a tea master that he sees once a month. And so he went and did that first and then did the tea ceremony with us. And so that was really cool to look at his hand, the way he's like doing it, Chris, compared to the way you're doing it. It's all in the hand.
In the wrist, yeah.
Yeah. So that was really neat to see. And then you're supposed to like turn it, like hold the bowl in a particular fashion. He was telling Chris how to hold the bowl, and you need to like spin it clockwise, and then you place it down so that the person can drink it. And so he's correcting Chris's tea to say, okay, now taste the difference now that I've whipped it up compared to what you had it as, which was really neat. This was like honestly a once in a lifetime experience. I was shitting bricks trying to get to this place. I'm not gonna lie. I had a bit of a meltdown. But we got there and it was kind of obscure to try and find the place. And we were almost late, but I am really happy we did it. I was also nervous we were going to miss our boat back. And then the irony of it all is we made it back with maybe like, I don't know, half an hour to spare. I even that was pushing it close though. And then, like I said, we needed to wait anyways because another bus was still another hour behind. And that is him closing up the tea ceremony. And most of this is supposed to be done unspoken. Like, it's so neat. It is such an art form. And this is our train ride back. I thought I would get a little bit of the Osaka close to the port. Because I try and be extremely respectful, so it's kind of hard for me to feel comfortable filming in a lot of public settings just because I want to be respectful of the other people around me. So I just try and do it a little bit more stealthily. But these were the shots that we got with the tea master. I'm so happy we got to meet Randy. If you're ever in Kyoto and you want a really cool experience, I would definitely suggest going and checking this out. And these were all the people, like every time we left a port, people were waving and saying hi and stuff like that, and this was a beautiful sunset. I hope you enjoyed this Kyoto and Osaka leg of the tour. Watching back this video is just so much, it brings me so much joy to see, and I really hope that came across. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I only do like really small snippets, one because I like videoed everything and I didn't really have that much help in that sense, which is fine, but I know like other people have like videographers and that kind of stuff, and also, like I was mentioning, I like to try and be respectful of the people that live there and have to deal with all of these weird ass tourist people, so I wanted to be respectful whenever possible when filming and recording and all that great stuff. But let me know what your favorite segment of this part of the trip was. It's hard to say for me. I really loved the tea ceremony, which I almost at the time when we couldn't find the place was saying I wish we didn't book this. I'm really happy we did do it. And I loved going to Dotonbori. That was just such a different experience. There's like even a little New York with like a little Statue of Liberty, which is really crazy, which I'm sorry I didn't film, but you can definitely go and see that. But yeah, I'm just in awe, and going there on weekends, just don't do it. That's when we went there and it was even nuttier. Anywhere that you wanted to eat on the main path, you had to wait at least 3 hours for the queue, which is insane, and it was already relatively late when we got there. It wasn't early. I think it was like 8 or 9. No, it was probably 8. But yeah, it was at least a 3-hour wait any place that you went to, even a small izakaya down some side street, which was also really cool to see, and like businessmen wandering around and stuff like that. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next leg of the trip. See you there!